Welcome to RichTrybe. You know, everybody thinks building wealth is about locking yourself in a room, staring at spreadsheets, just hoping to crack some secret code. But honestly, generational wealth is actually built through connection.
Hold up. Connection. Because I always thought getting rich was just about keeping your head down, working way harder than the next guy, and saving absolutely every penny. Are you seriously telling me I need to go out schmoozing at awkward networking events?
Well, not exactly schmoozing, John, but look at this. Your network equals your net worth. You really got to stop acting like a lone wolf and start planting seeds. I'm telling you from my own experience, wealth is 100% a team sport. If you just isolate yourself, you're literally trapping yourself in that employee mindset where you're forever trading your time for money. You just can't break out of that cycle unless you surround yourself with people who've actually built the systems you want to build. Okay, but let's be real for a second. Why on earth would a millionaire give me the time of day when I'm starting from absolute zero? Don't wealthy people only want to hang out with other wealthy people? Like, what could an average guy with a regular salary possibly offer a self-made millionaire? Oh, see, that's a classic limiting belief right there, John. You're totally assuming wealthy folks look at relationships as a transaction, kind of like how a lot of struggling people do. And I promise you, they really don't. But hey, before you even worry about finding these people, you've got to understand the two completely different types of relationships you're actually hunting for. So let's dive right into Section 1, Masterminds versus Mentors. Okay, so think about this framework from entrepreneur Eben Pagan. A mastermind is basically a small group of your peers. These are people right on your level, and you meet up regularly to share plans and actively grow assets together. A mentor, though, that's your seasoned expert, the super genius who's pulling you up to a whole new level. They point out the glaring flaws in your thinking that you literally can't even see yourself. I relied on both to get where I am, and honestly, you absolutely need both to win big.
Okay, got it. Peers to grow with, a mentor to guide me. But seriously, where are these mentors hiding? Am I supposed to just hop on Instagram and DM guys flexing next to Lamborghinis? Because that feels like a massive scam just waiting to happen.
That brings us to Section 2, Finding the Hidden Wealthy. You are spot on to be skeptical about those Lambo guys, John. Chasing that flashy facade is a huge trap. Look, there is a world of difference between acting rich and actually being wealthy. Fake gurus, they just spend money to look rich. Think about the time Rihanna almost went bankrupt and actually sued her financial advisor. His response to her was basically, did I really have to tell you that if you spend money on things, you just end up with the things and not the money? True wealth accumulators don't play that game. Take Ronald Reed. Just a humble janitor, right? But he quietly built an $8 million fortune. True wealth is super unglamorous. It's the luxury car they decided not to buy. The real wealth is hidden away in investments and assets. Wait, so the actual millionaires I need to learn from are just hiding in plain sight, driving 10-year-old sedans?
Exactly. True accumulators only care about what you build, not what you buy. Take billionaire investor Sandy Gottesman, for example. When he interviews candidates, he asks them one simple, powerful question: what do you own and why? Real mentors care about your mindset and your ownership. They could not care less about flashy predictions or your consumption habits. They want to know if you've got the discipline to acquire assets and hold on to them for the long haul.
Okay, I think it's clicking. I want the quiet accumulator, not the loud spender. But man, that brings me right back to my first issue. How do I actually approach one of these low-key millionaires without sounding like some guy just begging for a handout or a quick shortcut? Let's hit Section 3, Bringing Value to the Table. First rule, you never, ever beg. Wealthy people guard their time like a hawk. So you absolutely must approach them from a place of creating value, not extracting it. You start by building deep self-awareness. You really need to know your specific value and exactly what you bring to the table. Then, figure out how to sew into their life. Maybe it's doing a deep dive on an industry trend they're too busy to research, or sorting out messy data for a project of theirs. You have to flip your entire mindset from how do I get more from this person to how can I save them time and make their life easier? Sewing into their life? Come on, they've got millions, and I've got a modest salary and some big dreams. What could I possibly give a millionaire that they don't already have? You give them your skills and your hustle, John. Legendary business philosopher Jim Rohn talked about this. You start by taking at least 10% of your income and investing it straight into your own education. You master one specific skill. Let's look at a real-world example. Say a guy learns graphic design online. Just putting in a few hours a week, he gets really good. Then, he goes to a local business owner, maybe someone who could be a mentor, and offers to solve a specific problem for them, totally taking that workload off their plate. He saves them time.
And then he takes any profits he makes and reinvests them into learning even more. By leveling up your own capability first, you prove your worth. That's how you become valuable enough to attract a mentor naturally.
Eben Pagan has this brilliant analogy that just nails this concept. Investing in relationships is exactly like farming. You've got to plant your seeds, meaning your effort, your knowledge, your reliability, way before you can ever expect a harvest. Think about it. You wouldn't just walk up to a farmer, demand a fresh apple, and offer absolutely zero in return, right? No, you help them till the soil for the whole season, and then you share in the harvest. You have to put the sweat equity in up front.
Hey, really quick, before we get to the final piece of the puzzle here, if this explainer is completely changing how you view wealth and networking, make sure to subscribe to RichTrybe's channel. Like, comment, and share. We are absolutely dedicated to bringing you the exact mindset shifts the wealthy use to build their fortunes. So join the tribe and help us spread the word.
Done. I'm subscribed and furiously taking notes over here. But I need that final piece. I've got my skills. I am ready to plant these seeds. But where's the farm? Like, where do I actually go in the real world to find these communities?
Section 4, where to find your tribe. That is the million-dollar question, John, because your environment shapes your thinking way faster than your willpower ever could. You find these mentors right where growth-minded individuals naturally hang out. Online communities are a phenomenal starting point, places like the Financial Joy Academy where folks are actually talking about building assets instead of just mindless consuming. But also look into local entrepreneur workshops, super specific industry events, or even private members clubs. You want to intentionally drop yourself into rooms where people are actively discussing solutions, investments, and massive long-term goals, instead of just sitting around complaining about their bosses.
Okay, so the master strategy is this. I put myself in the right rooms, I offer the skills I've mastered to solve their real problems, and I completely focus on the long game.
You hit the nail on the head, John. Like Jim Rohn always said, wealth does not fall from the sky. It follows capability. Listen to me, a mentor is not going to magically parachute in to rescue you from your financial situation. A true mentor only shows up when your own capability, your mindset, and your constant drive to create value prove that you belong in that room. Build up your capability, offer it freely to the people you want to learn from, and the mentorship, it'll just happen as a natural side effect. So I'm going to leave you all with one final question to think about. What specific skill are you going to start mastering today to earn your seat at the table?